In the name of God, most beneficent, most merciful, I begin with a greeting of peace. I just learned from Rabbi Mark as well, they have the same greeting, shalom, as you say.
Salam.
Salam. So can you all say salam? Salam. So this is how we begin a meeting of peace with a greeting of peace. My name is Fareeha Qazi, originally from Pakistan. I guess you can guess with my accent. Living in US for 17 years now. I have 3 kids, and I am serving as the president of the Sisters Committee of Islamic Society of Greenville. I'm also a middle school history teacher. I teach US history and world history, and to add to my delight, I was given South Carolina history. You can imagine. So I'm really thrilled and excited to be here. And one thing that I'm looking forward to knocking down is the misconception, misinformation about the faith that I take pride in, which is being associated with something it was sent to end in the world. And that is terrorism, warfare, fighting, restlessness, turmoil. Islam was sent to end all of that. So I look forward to our discussion on peace. I look forward to presenting the actual pure vision of Islam. And I just want to say that if you want to get the actual pure vision of Islam, see Islam not through the actions of the Muslims, but from the original scripture. And also, turn the Fox News off. So I'm just excited to be here, and I think my minute is over. I just want to add to Raj's point on every life is sacred, and I wanted to emphasize that a life lost to hate in Las Vegas is as sacred as life lost to hate in Syria, in Iraq, in Afghanistan. A leader inciting hate is as distributable in America or any other part of the world. So we have to realize that. And when we choose our fights, we have to decide that it should be universal. We're looking for universal peace. And we also have to realize that as Muslims, we have been harmed, dishonored, more of us than any other non-Muslim by those people who have hijacked our religion. Islam means submission to God. And in that, we find peace. The 6th century Arabia was a war-torn country. Female infanticide was rampant. In that backdrop, Prophet Muhammad elevated the status of the woman, made mothers the doors to paradise, daughters as ways to paradise, wives as half of faith, and brought Arabia under total peace. Under Islamic empire, peace would spread. So Islam actually says that all minorities and women, not only white males, should enjoy superiority in the community. So Islam brings equality, talks about racial discrimination, and wants to see, as Professor Vic was talking about, not only internal peace, but also social peace. So if Islam does sanction war, I will not, dispute about that, but the war is there to eradicate the elements of evil, and after you eliminate those elements of evil, society at large can live at peace. So I have a question for all of you. My question is that in an examination center, all of you have given some types of test or exam. At least your driving test, right? Did you feel at peace while giving your test? Did you feel peace while you were in the examination center, or giving your exam, or giving your test? How many of you felt peace at that time? None of us. We as Muslims believe that God has created good and bad. Actually, just like if there is no night, day will lose its meaning. If there is no bad, good will lose its meaning. So God has told us in Quran, in our holy book, that God has created life and death to test you, who's the best in conduct. So no matter how much we want, that nuclear button to disappear from Kim Jong-un's table, or the bigger nuclear button to disappear, it's not possible. So no matter how desperately we want, bad to just vanish away from the world, it's not possible. And we believe as Muslims that this is a test for us. We are in the examination center being tested, and the examiner is quiet watching us. Sometimes you feel, why is not God helping me? Because when you're being tested, the person who's testing you is quiet, watching you. And we believe that we will be told based on our good deeds. As a teacher, I know, and most of you who have done some sort of teaching know, that what if there are no rewards or consequences? What a classroom will look like if I tell them, guys, do whatever you want to do in the classroom, if there is no consequence. So there is a reward for good deeds, and there is a consequence for a bad deed. What has went wrong is that in an effort to take out religion out of the classrooms, we have thrown away morality as well. We have made laws for traffic. You stop at red light. But there are absolutely no laws when it comes to moral life. Do whatever you want. Prophet Muhammad said, if somebody loses modesty, then he does whatever he wills. There's no limit. You do whatever you want to. So I do believe, I also believe, as Dr. Bibb was saying, it's not religious-minded people or too many religions that are a problem, because all of us sitting over here, we want to see the world as a peaceful place, right? We all agree on that. All of you in audience over here agree on that. It's not the religious-minded people, but are those problematic people who want to use religion for their political gains, and we see that happening or some other goals. So it's important as evil surfaces, the good surfaces as well, to a much stronger degree. And I can tell you this, when God created, according to Islamic traditions, He said, my mercy will prevail over my anger. And God put the strength and truth to prevail as well, and peace to prevail as well, and good to prevail as well, and light to prevail as well. God has given more power to good to prevail, more power to honesty, compassion, truthfulness. And we talk about the common values, love your neighbor. In Islamic traditions, it say, You are not a believer until and unless you wish for your brother what you wish for yourself. Such is the beauty. And I'm sure we have a lot of, on the shared common grounds that we have, we can make this world a better place to live for ourselves and more so for our children and for the generations to come. I had to reply to that comment. There are 1.6 billion Muslims in the world. If Islam is all for killing, then either Islam would have ceased to exist or people, humanity would exist. None of that happened. So 99.99% of Muslims are peace-loving, peace-promoting, law-abiding citizens, of countries all over the world. I also wanted to respond to the civil rights comment. It's really, really, really important that to know that, and this is to promote the progressive nature of Islam, that in 1963, when MLK stands outside Lincoln Memorial and says that I dream of a world, where my 4 kids will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. We have to know, and more Muslims, we have to know, because Muslims should be the champions of Black Lives Matters, And that is that 1400 years ago, Prophet Muhammad said that no black is better than white, no white is better than black, no Arab is better than non-Arab, no non-Arab is better than Arab, except what MLK said, the content of the character. It's the piety of your heart that makes you a better person. It's not the color of your skin. So this is really, really important. So as Muslims, I say that to my fellows at the Islamic Center as well, that we should be out there fighting for the black lives and for standing for discrimination and, on the basis of race and ethnicities.